Okay, and welcome to Men Matter Scotland's podcast. Remember, if you want support or any advice, please contact Men Matter Scotland on Twitter at Men Scotland or Facebook at Men Matter Scotland. We have a private members page. You can get access to loads of services and support absolutely free. We're on Spotify, we're on YouTube, we're on SoundCloud, and we've got a Men Matters playlist with loads of cracking tunes being suggested by just normal guys who I've picked songs that I've gotten through some tough times, so worth a wee listen on Spotify. Men Matter Scotland, it's called. So, welcome to episode. I think this is number 10, by the way. I think it's number 10. So, today we've got a good guy here, Craig. Craig, do you want to introduce yourself, mate?
All right, how you doing? I'm Craig Maguire, live in Yoker, 28 on Tuesday, and I've been probably involved with Men Matter for just over a year, so that's me.
Nice one, Craig. Cheers for coming on, mate. It's a big step for a lot of guys to come and talk about stuff, and it's brave because we open ourselves up emotionally. And it's not an easy thing to do all the time, but I think the more guys like yourself and myself and just normal guys do it, the easier it becomes for every other normal guy out there. Do you know what I think?
I'd agree with that, because a big part of all this is things that people don't think are normal, but if you make them normal, then it's no big deal. Because I mean, I'm just talking to you. I'm just talking to a guy I talk to regular, so. You know, it is a daunting prospect, but hopefully the more people that do this kind of thing, the more people are inclined to speak out about whatever's affecting them.
Definitely, mate. However, this podcast's about you, mate, and your life, and you've got a wee bit of a story to tell. You sent me a wee list. You sent me a wee list of things, and I've got some questions for you, and we'll just go through them and see where the conversation takes us, mate. All right?
Aye, for sure, mate. Aye.
Good stuff. So my first question is just I always ask this question to start with, just to try and see if there's a pattern happening, and it's just about life growing up. So what was life like for you growing up?
Well, when when I was young, I have to say, you know, I grew up for a good family. I've got two brothers, which I think you've met both. I'm not sure, but three boys kind of close in age. We lived in Yoker and still do. So we just kind of got up to what boys do, just boisterous, kind of carry on and whatever. But my mum and dad, they started off with no very little, but they worked all their days and they've got, you know, they came from a nice house and a nice family, and home life was good. They took us everywhere, took us on holiday, took us to every day out you could think of in Scotland and Britain, and anywhere you could want to go, they would take you, and, you know, good Christmases, good birthdays and everything in between. So we were pretty privileged in that aspect. But obviously, you know yourself, you know, growing up in an area like Yoker and the Drum or wherever, it's once you get out the door, you know, it's a free for all. You can't stay indoors all your life, so you've got to kind of mix it with the people who are there and round about. So, but far as being childhood wise, it was good. I think, like we were talking about before, I kind of came across hurdles as I got into my teenage years, and you know, that's when I started to come across certain difficulties.
So see when you were a wee guy before your teenage years then, Craig,
Yeah.
you were aware of gangs and stuff like that in Yoker. Yoker's obviously a well-known scheme, right? It's a well-known area for being a tough area. So was that all happening when you were a wee guy?
It was, I mean, you used to see the mentions in that about, and you'd see the squads are kind of older people cutting about, and then I remember one of my kind of earlier memories is my granny stays in Knightswood, so to think to walk, I remember all the Yoker, all the kind of older boys used to go about in petrol scooters, and the petrol scooters made the same noise as a lawnmower. And I remember like trying to walk to my grand's, and because if they came by on a petrol scooter, they might stop you and ask what you're doing. They might fucking wind you up. They might say about you, just depending on how they felt. And if somebody was cutting their grass, I would walk to my grand's and stuff. I heard somebody cutting their grass, but fuck, what's going on there? Who's that? But when you get older, you get to know who's who and that. But at first, you're unsure. You don't know what's coming. But in Yoker, because as well, you get stopped maybe. See, because I mean, I never get into gangs till I was into my teenage years. But when I was at primary school, I remember I'd get stopped. See if I was in Clydebank, I'd get stopped. Where you fair? And I'd be like, "Oh, Yoker," as if it's all right. But I'd say that to the wrong person, and it's not all right. I was completely oblivious.
Mm-hmm.
But you do. It's about and it's about in Glasgow, and it's about near enough everywhere. But yourself, particularly at that time, these kind of areas that we're in and round about were quite. It was prominent. It was very prominent.
And do you think, see, being for a family with three boys, all roughly the same age, there was do you think you were maybe targeted to get involved in gangs, or do you think you just kind of fell
Well,
into it naturally?
I think that's kind of what happened, because I think you've kind of go about and you all kind of look similar, and you're all kind of walking about together, and they think, I don't know, maybe people think they could fucking do some damage if they were with us or whatever. And I was always quite in school. I was a bit of a class clown at times, and because I would say funny things to teachers or whatever, people maybe took that, oh, he's quite bold, he's quite brave. Maybe, and plus, we were all kind of, even for a young age, we were into doing fitness stuff. So I think, I mean, you kind of just fall into it. You're willing. I mean, if you're willing to do certain things, people start to notice that, and it might be as daft as being the one that jumps up on a roof and gets a ball. People think, he's quite bold. It could be that, and then people think, right, I will get him hanging about with us. But yourself, you just meet people, and you don't know any different you're growing up. It's just your group of pals are doing this and that and whatever, so you end up doing it as well.
No, that's right. So, see, just quickly, man, on the class clown thing. So every classroom had a class clown, right?
Aye.
Why? Just out of pure curiosity, why were you the class clown? Do you know?
I thought, well, to be honest, you know me, like, I would just like to have a laugh. If we took my own horn, I'm fucking hilarious, let's face it. but, but I think people, to be honest, no, there has been times where it's been like, and especially in fucking secondary school, like, because I'm willing, I'm funny and that, people start trying to go into doing things, and I'm like,
Mm.
fuck, man, I can't be arsed. I don't want to get into fucking too much bother, but it's funny at the same time. But maybe, I don't know. That's just my nature. Like in primary school when I'd done it, it was one of them. I'd be funny, and the teacher would have a laugh, and then like get back on with it. But in high school, it was more, you know what, I don't want to be here. If I just start acting the cunt, they'll kick me out the class, and I can just go and do whatever. So there was an element of that to it as well. So the different reasons why you do, I suppose, the same things, but shows you the same thing can be harmless, but it can also be whatever, a coping mechanism, you could
Aye,
say.
yeah.
So that might be aye.
So, see, going into your teenage years, then. How did you get involved in gangs then?
So it's quite a funny one, because even though I live in Yoker, I kind of avoided hanging about with gangs when in Yoker. I mean, I went to a school along. Well, you live in Clydebank now, the old St Andy's.
Aye, yeah, know that.
But I went to St Brennan's, which is just along the road for me, and the catchment school for that really is St Tam's. But my older brother Kev, who's a year on for me, him and a group of his pals went to St Andy's. But me being the younger brother, I always wanted to hang about with them. I always wanted to be in and about them. So I wanted to go there. I wasn't thinking, no, but no being in classes with them. Because when he went, there was a good about half of his class, I think, went to St Andy's and the other half to St Tam's. But when I went to St Andy's, it was like me and one other. So it was like starting again. and it was like totally starting again. I went from being, you know, everybody kind of knew me and whatever, to nobody really fucking knows me, and I wasn't particularly very big or imposing. And also, for whatever reason, the grades that I'd achieved to that point in primary school never get sent to the high school. So I was doing stuff that I'd already done years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just because I wasn't really applying myself, I wasn't speaking out, I never told my mom, I just was just so disinterested. So I remember just kind of, I had a couple of pals, they're like, right, fucking, don't hang about with us or whatever. And we get one couple of things, we get into a bit of fucking, we get a bit, me and a few of the other boys, we were doing a few things we shouldn't be doing, and a few people were wanting to basically set about us. And so I had some pals I knew, and so I started hanging about with them. And I was like, right, fuck it, I'll just cut about with them, man. They're like, nobody will bother you if you're in with us or whatever. So that was probably how it started. And then I was, no sooner had they said that to me than a gang fight started where I was standing talking to them, and I kind of just joined in. And that was that, and it just went for there. I fucking look, you know, it was to get a bit of, you know, like, people off my back and a bit of respect back, because it's something I felt I lacked since I moved for a school. I've jumped to a high school where I never knew anybody, and nobody really, you know, gave me two looks. I was like, right, well, you know, I need to kind of stand up for myself a wee bit, and that was, I suppose, a way of doing it. But also, you know, yourself, which we'll get into when we're talking about fitness and training and whatever, that young men in particular need outlets for their energy. So that it was a rush. It was a good buzz doing it. I can't say it wasn't. So
Yeah.
that's just how it started. Aye.
So see when you were at that age, 13, 14, Craig, was there no youth clubs and stuff kicking about for you?
There was I remember there was Y Sort It. That was the one up at Clydebank, Alexandria Street. There was but I mean, I just wasn't interested. To be honest, I used to hear about who used to go to it, and I thought, all right, I'm not going there.
Right.
And that could be on them, it could be on me, it could be both. But there's the youth clubs, but you had to be, for what I gathered from my perspective, you couldn't just turn up to one. You had to know somebody, or you know, at the time, it's just what I ended up doing. Although I do think that there could have been, if there was more, you know, different ones or whatever. But you know, as what it is at the end of the day, innit?
So see, when you're part of the gang, then that's you into the crowd. Did anybody try and talk you to it, like your big bras, your mom and dad, whatever like that?
Still there, Peter?
So see when you're involved with the gangs and stuff, then do you see like your big bras, your mom and dad, they try to talk you to it then?
Once my mum and that found out about it, my mum and dad, they couldn't believe what I was doing, because I can't stress enough how they never brought me up like that. They never brought me up to be part of that. So they done everything they could to deter me for doing it, and that included physically keeping me in the house after a certain point. But I mean, thinking back, I mean, the school, you know, they knew that the Polish used to, like, if you'd been in bother with them, they would tell the school. The school certainly never sat anybody down and said what you're doing. The odd time you'd be kicking about and you'd get a youth group volunteers coming up and asking why you're doing what you're doing. What would you rather? Is there other things that you would rather have? And you would tell them, you know, if we had this, we used to have the pitch up there, we don't have it anymore, whatever. But there is one group we used to talk to a lot, which is the Polish. They fucking spoke to you plenty of times. and not in a good way. But even again, in the police, you would get ones that would say, "What he's doing this for, boys? You know, he didn't, that this isn't going to get you anywhere." But certainly, no. If between me and you, I don't think adequately enough. No, I don't think there was enough people. It did come later on. This was when just before the turning point where they really got on grip of the gangs. So at that point, no, really, and it reflected in the statistics of the areas at the time.
That's right. So I'm a youth worker. That's what I do as my job.
There
was a big drive to tackle gangs and antisocial behaviour in the mid noughties. Mid to late noughties. We done a bit of cross networking with other organisations, and we've done a big drive, loads of funding on it. And the gangs have just came right down, man. Even to this day, the gangs are just nowhere near. Because Craig, I remember like 2003, man.
You don't see it the same, do you?
Nah, it was wild. It used to.
That was
used to do street work, and it would be wild, man. Honestly, on the battles on the streets. That's my mum trying to phone me now.
At least we've got music.
It just interests me if there's other alternatives for young people there. Would they take them? Because again, like you're saying, you're looking for that buzz, that excitement, that adrenaline. I fight that. If you're not going to get that from making paper mache balloons, so you need to get that from somewhere. You know what I mean, in the youth services, I thought we have the funds to provide it.
They've got to be bold with it. Can I just go back on that? It was because see, after I get into a bit of bother, I get put in touch with. You might remember. I don't know if you might have been involved with the youth work. It was a restorative justice up in Drumchapel.
Right.
So I get put in touch with them, and they came out to my house, and they basically said what we do is they were youth workers, and we take people that are on the verge, or maybe they can go one way, they can go the other, and we take them and we talk to them about the impact of what they're doing, but we also provide them with gorge walking and abseiling, climbing, all these kind of things that get you that buzz.
Exactly.
And then that way, we speaking to you about what you're doing. So they came, they didn't get in touch till I got in. I started to get into bother, but that was one thing that was a turning point. And also, my younger brother Andy, he was getting he got into it fucking. He was 12-year-old, and he was getting the post turned up to the house in the morning, about 7 in the morning, looking for him. He was getting into it really early, and but there was a initiative they done. It was the two of the posts that were assigned to Yoker took a group of boys that were hanging about and took them away to a sort of retreat or like a Blavadoc type thing. And the police were there, and they got to know the police, and I think the police were saying, this is the side that we're coming from. We're getting people phoned on us. We don't want to, bother with the boys, but if you're doing things you shouldn't be doing, then we need to get involved. So these things were about, but they were certainly, a wee bit late. I mean, I was on it. I mean, I kind of turned myself around, but there's people, that aren't even here today to say they've done that. So,
and there's guys,
these things,
even at your age now, there's guys at my age who are involved in that when they're younger. They're still involved in it, are still living that kind of lifestyle.
Can't get out of it. Yep, that's it.
Again, a lot of that's to do with their reputation and how their peers see them. And again, a lot of folk grow at it, but a lot of folks don't grow at it because they've not got the confidence to grow at it. You know what I mean?
That's exactly it. Who would you be if you weren't that? And if even if all you're going to be is somebody that people are scared of, or some mad nutcase, I suppose to some people that's something in it.
Exactly.
So if they can't find a better outlet, and I think that's partly down to how society is, but yourself, we're kind of we're old enough and wise enough to know that there's a point, something's got to give in them as well, isn't it? So
definitely, man. So see, just when you're running about the gangs, then is there any moments you were running about you thought, shit, this is dangerous, or I'm in trouble here?
I I've been in a few hairy ones. I've been hit with a few. I get stabbed in the back of the head with a broken bucky bottle one time, and I felt the back of my head, and I thought, right, this is fucking, because the boy that done it was still right behind me with a group of his pals, and I thought, right, if I don't fucking make tracks here, I'm going to get seriously set about. And there's one time in particular, I don't want to drop names in, but if my mom, this is how far reaching it was, because my mom used to want me in at a certain time, and I was with some of my pals, and I remember she was telling me to get up the road now. You're late, you're past your time. The boys that I was with, their moms weren't on them to the phone.
Yeah.
They ended up doing something that night that's life changing. And I was with them earlier on in the night. So I'm not going. They'll know that everybody involved will know exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm not going to say. But you know, I could have been just, and that would. I mean, I probably wouldn't be here speaking to you, if I was still there. And then there's obviously other occasions where you might have done something, and then like there's motors looking, pulling up, asking where you are, and that. So it's a fucking crazy fucking time, I suppose. And I was only really involved in it for about a year, 2 year. But I mean, there's things you can do in a small space of time that can change things.
As mate, so this is the next question then. So when you're involved at that level, man, how easy is it to get out without repercussions, or do you live with the potential for repercussions?
I mean, the thing is, I have to make peace with you have to make peace with things that somebody might have done to you. Because if you want to go looking for revenge, how many people are going to want revenge on you for something that you've done? And after you stop and you think, right, I don't want part of this anymore. Yeah, it's weird because the people that are you're doing it with are your pals first and foremost. So to hang about with your pals, still they're going to be wanting to do it. So you have to distance yourself with that, and then you know you might be ready to leave, but somebody that you've smacked in the face with a brick they want you to leave it.
Yeah.
And you hear about people that have things happen to them years down the line where they're just minding their own business. They maybe get a wife and a wedding and a new house and job, and somebody just can't, like you said there, people that still do it when they're into their late 20s, they don't want to let it lie, and they just fucking catch them on a bad day, and that's it. So, I mean, I think it's, as you know what it is, see, as more people that you were involved with grow up and they get things that everybody starts getting that's going to come out of it, gets a turning point themselves. More and more people realise these kind of things aren't worth it. Coupled with the fact that they, like you were saying, they really had a big drive to get the gangs out and the gang mentality out. So over time, it's just really it's been easier. And you get older, you get more savvy. You get to know people in different circumstances. You realise that people that you once had an issue with, or you could have been pals with. If you lived in the same street, you just didn't live in the same street when you were younger. You lived 1 or 2 streets over or whatever it was. So that was, that's it. Aye. So at first it is. Plus as well, you want to get. I remember fucking. This is how stupid I was. I remember I was, my mum and dad, when I was 15, or 16 I was, my mum and dad took me a 5-star hotel in Tenerife, and it was amazing. And I signed I was like a week, 2 weeks I was there for, and I went on to remember the old MSN, and somebody popped up and, oh, your pals are getting fucking chased about, you are all fucking gimps and whatever, and you are all shite bags. And I'm in a fucking nice hotel in Tenerife, and I'm seething. I can't wait to get back. I'll put that right if you want to say shit like that. And that's just how, I mean, I was a young boy at the time, but I mean, Jesus Christ, man, see if I could go there, all expenses paid. I know. I mean, I certainly wouldn't be fucking taking it for granted like that. But you learn, don't you? You learn with these things. But that's just your mentality when you're young.
So, what is it actually made you want to stop? Because again, you don't want to leave your mates, right? And you see you leave the gang, you still want to be pals with the boys, right? You want to just stop doing the mad shit. What made you want to stop doing it, and what made you want to leave the gang kind of environment?
I kind of get forced out of it because one of the things that I ended up getting, I get arrested for was I had to get bailed out, and one of the bail conditions was that I would be on a curfew, so I couldn't leave my house at 7 o'clock every night. So I had no choice, and that ran for 7 or 8 months. And by that time, I just kind of was that far that I'd been away. But I mean, had I know, because the thing that the time when I was talking about when I was on in Tenerife, I was on bail. I was on bail for something else, and when I went back, that's when I was saying, I'm going to go back and do whatever. If you are talking shite, I was already on bail, so I went and done something else, and they went, right, you're only getting bail on the agreement that you don't leave your house. So about 8 months later, and then we'll maybe get into this bit a wee bit later, but it was a good 8 months, a good massive part of a year that I wasn't seen or about, and everybody just kind of took it as like, he's no kind of on the scene. People move on, people do whatever else. I'd get my mom was kind of kind enough to let some of my pals come round to my house or whatever, and I'd see them that way, and I'd see them during the day. But so that was a wee bit of a blessing, maybe in disguise, because I couldn't go out, and do you know what a big thing is as well is when you're young, you're that egotistical that you're more worried about people saying that you're scared to come out, but you've got a kind of alibi, the opposite an alibi almost, that if you go out, because they used to come and check. I never had a tie, but they'd come and check if I was in. Chat the door, and if I wasn't in, they'd put a warrant out. But so I would be like, well, I'm out. Do you know what I mean? I'm in den, as they used to say when you were playing Heidi, because I couldn't get involved. So that's kind of what drew me away from it over time.
See, on that being kept in, would your mum and dad quite on your case about it? Because you must have been choking to go out at some point.
I mean, the odd time I'd go out and I'd kick about locally, and my dad would come out and get me. If I went, I'd be maybe like an hour late, and he'd come out and get me. But he could empathise with me because it was getting to me because I was working and during the week, and I'd maybe want to finish work at 4:30, 5 o'clock, and then get into a gym session, and I'd be watching the time, and I'd got up to court hoping to get it dealt with, and it would just keep getting deferred, and that would mean like bail conditions continue as normal. And this was in the whole legal aid fiasco where they'd all get paid per appearance. So they could just string it out for, we forgot a document. Rather than throwing it out, they would just adjourn for another month. So
that's hanging near you.
It was hanging near me, and I'm like, right, am I getting back out the house or no?
Yeah.
Or what's going to happen? Because also I'm also facing time, so I'd rather get that out the way if that was going to happen. But ideally, I'd just like the whole thing wrapped up. So just to hear that another month you're stuck in the house. By I think everybody can understand a bit of that now with the lockdown. They can understand how that feels. So that's the same frustration.
Yeah. It must have been hard, especially at a young age, man, being kept in. Because that's the age just about enjoying your life, man. Finding yourself and stuff, but you're snubbed. That's no good, man. No. So see with regards to the courts and the jail then, so you said, hold on, lost you. So Craig, you kind of said about how you went off the rails, and can you just tell us a bit about your experience with the court system and even jail and stuff like that? Just tell us a bit about your experience with all that.
So I mean, when I was like I was saying, I was hanging about when I was about 14 and 15. So I would get stoked with the police, and I would give them mouth. I can't say I never. I was quite mouthy, and they used to. I mean, the worst they could do, they'd cuff you, they'd take you to a cell, but they'd do it in what they could hold you for 5 hours, or they'd take you home, and because they know that your mum and dad would discipline you or whatever. But I wasn't smart enough to realise that once you turn 16, they're going to get you. And I remember the first time I done something, it was me and a group of my pals. There was some. We
2 1.
right. So me and a group of my mates, we get done with a kind of potentially quite a serious assault with somebody that we were. It was an older guy, and he was trying to start a fight with one of his, so we ended up doing what you do, and I remember I realised, fuck man, I'm 16 now, they can take this further. And that was the one that I was bailed for. And then the other one was a gang fight at the boulevard. When I was hanging about with my pals for Clydebank, we were fighting with boys for the drum, surprisingly enough. But just to say, I'm quite good. All the boys that I used to have run-ins with, I've buried the hatchet with a good 90% of them. Been out, had drinks and all that, fucking been to parties and all that. So it's mad how it all turns around. But at the time, it was serious. But so I was getting up to the court for these two incidents and because of the catchment areas, I'd be at Dumbarton Sheriff Court 1 week, and then Glasgow Sheriff Court later on in that week. And I was at work, and I was like, I need to take a day off. I've got court, and then I'd be like, I've got another court date, and they're like, are you fucking winding us up? And I'm like, no, I'm genuinely no. But I remember the whole having that hanging there your heads. It's you want it done and dealt with, and it's you don't know if you're. I mean, if you get hit with a stint right after you done something, it wouldn't be nice, but it would be done. But if you do something in November, you probably not be getting sentenced then anyway to about July.
Yeah.
And it was on my 17th birthday. I went up, and that was for the one I was saying, it was the assault, and it was a bit serious. It was an assault to injury with an offensive weapon. And I remember the judge saying, it was just only me and one is in the dock because whoever else never showed up. And he says, I'll be totally justified in jailing the two E's now. And I thought, right, that's it. And I was prepared for it because that one, I thought, right, that was quite thingy. But he says, I'm no going.
Did your arse collapse when they said that?
Fuck aye, mate. I can't. I'm not going to. That one, but he says I'm not going to because it's your first offences. So I get 210 hours community service. But the next one was I actually never get caught doing anything major. I just got caught in a camera at a gang fight, well on bail. So I'm getting up, and they're saying, this was in the October, so that was July. That was my 17th birthday, and then in October I went up, and my pal that was getting first sentence, he was already in. So my lawyer says he's going to get more time, but you're not going to get any time.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Peter, see the amount of times I'd done court visits. I'd never seen a set of stairs but in behind the dock. The only time I'd seen that was when I get led up. But that just said to me, right, this is fucking, they're there for a reason. Right. And then my pal on the right got whatever time added on to his sentence, and then the judge said to me, you've only got one previous conviction, which was the time before. I'll be a bit lenient with you. You're going to get 110, and I thought he was going to say hours community service, and that's not that much. About that days. Fuck off, man! Are you serious? And I couldn't believe it, man. I looked down. I'm laughing about it, but it wasn't funny because my arse did collapse then. And I feel bad because my mum was there, and she was gutted, and my papa was there, and he was just telling me to because I looked at him, but I looked as if, you probably know that look, I might have been about to kick off. So he was telling me, he's like, keep it down, don't say it, just take it. But basically, what I get taken down, and actually what ended up happening was, because I'd been trialled on the community service, and I was doing it, and it was working, and I'd been out of trouble. I was eligible for an appeal, so I was in polmont for, I think, a week, and then I get a screw came in and threw a form in, and he said, fill that out, you're going to court tomorrow. And I was like, oh no, have I done something else? I've been, if they been waiting to charge me with something else, I don't know. And then I got there, and they says, by law, you have to apply other disposals a couple of times before, unless it's in a petitioned on indictment or a severe trial, a summary proceeding. But this wasn't of that nature, so I got granted bail, and I had to go up to the High Court in Edinburgh of Appeal and present the case before them, and I was getting 150 hours community service, which I'd done no bother. I mean, I could have done 1,000 hours community service, but because I could have went back, I could have get sent, and you could potentially get more time if you appeal and it doesn't go your way. So that worked out well, but obviously I did get a wee quick taster of what it'd be like if I was in the jail, and it certainly wasn't for me. I can say that, because a lot of boys that think, oh, that's how you earn your stripes or whatever, but it's, I mean, what's fucking good about lying on a fucking mattress that's this thick, and you get out for a shower every other day, and you need to shite next to somebody in the same room,
We're going to ask
get
you that,
told.
Craig, if you could give even like a walkthrough, like your first day in Polmont, and maybe a wee brief kind of
Well,
what it was like, because there's loads of boys like yourself in there, young angry boys in the same place. It's a bit of
it's a melting pot, essentially. Well, this is how stupid I was again. I remember thinking that everybody's going to think, I'm going to talk of the town. I just need to. I added up the days, like 110. It get reduced to 96 because I pleaded guilty earlier on, and then I'm right. So about half of that is 40 odd, and then I'm like, right, that's not that long. And then, I mean, because you're in about it, you end up fucking bumping into people right away, good and bad. But I'm thinking, no, I'll be the talk of the town. But then when you get in there, you're like, right, fucking, this isn't it. It looks like what a jail you would think looks like. I know it sounds daft, but it looks like everything you'd expect. And it's the fact that you get, it's quite unnerving knowing that there's hundreds of other boys there that probably worse than you in the heat, that might have completely, I don't know, like just deranged, if you could say that. Not to put them down, but like I said earlier, I kind of get involved in a life like that, but I am for a good family. Nice. The policemen used to take us, me and my brothers home, used to say, why are you doing this? Because we take your pals home. They don't even have a telly in their house. They don't have central heating. Like, they're doing this because there's nothing else for them to do. But there's many reasons why you can end up doing these kind of things. So for me, it was a culture shock, and I think I'd kind of made my peace with it. Right, this is shite, but it's not forever. I'll be out before I know it. I've done about a week now, and then I ended up obviously getting out. But when you're walking in, it's daunting, and I tell you, because I know boys that have done long periods, and they'll tell you, see all that. People forget about you. They move on, and it's only natural. But only your close group, if you've got one, will bother their arse to write to you, let alone visit you.
Yeah.
And that anybody that's thinking, to be the big man and be in the jail, it's certainly no, man. Anybody in there doesn't want to be there. And them saying the day is just them. It's bravado to show that they're no, to hide the hurt, but they really because people can be in there and your mom could die, your dad could die, your girlfriend could split up with you, she could have a baby and you're no there.
Yeah.
You miss these things, so all these things can happen to somebody that's in the jail.
And see, with regards to when you get to jail, when you've been in the gang, you've got your big circle of pals. Are you a bit gutted when only like 2 or 3 of them contact you and the rest just kind of patchy?
I certainly. Well, you kind of. It's like I kind of expected that because I know people that were in, and I'd visited somebody and he told me that I'm like one of the handful that were visiting them, and so I'm like, fuck, you know what I mean? But I definitely rings true. I mean, it doesn't soften the blow, and I think even worse that I wasn't in that long, obviously, but I was in long enough to start getting letters, and you get letters I got a letter from my gran, from my mom, from my dad, from my brothers, and whatever.
Mm.
You don't want them. You don't want to be making. I mean, through your stupid choices, they've got to do something that they thought they'd never do is right to their fucking family member in the jail. Do you know what I mean? That was me. That was probably the worst thing about it for me because they've got good reputations, and the one I was talking about where I went up before, the one that was an assault, that was in the Clydebank Post, and my name and address get put out in the Clydebank Post, and my neighbour's seen that.
Yeah.
And that's, for my mom to, and the judge, the Sheriff Fraser, he had a go. He says this is a reflection on your parents, and I can say hand on heart that it's no, because they done everything they could to get me away from that, and they did. I mean, I scraped, into the sort of the downward spiral, but I came back the other way. But that was a real a big hurt to them. So that is another thing you've got to kind of contend with. Peter, mate, do you mind just pausing this quickly? Just
Right, Craig. So you've come out of Polmont. What's the plan when you leave Polmont? What's the script? Is it catch up with your pals, or just say, right, Pat Shem, I'm going to start afresh here?
Aye, well, when I came home, I was like, right, I've dodged a bullet, so I get out, and that I was also buzzing because Celtic were playing that night, so I got to watch that. But I remember thinking, right, this is last chance saloon here, so let's do something. Get back in, because I was still on appeal when I got out on the appeal. I thought, right, if I hammer out all the community service that I've got, then they'll be more inclined to give me more.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I did get more, my plan was to hammer that out, and then let's get a fresh start and get a job, and get into something more productive, more, how would you say, I don't know, just something more positive. But that you were saying about when I started feeling anxious, properly anxiety, that would have, so that's when that would have started. So see, when I was going on the curfew, right, and I was going up to court and whatever else, I would get anxious by being stuck in the house, and by knowing that I've got to go up to court and things could potentially no go my way, or I could be stuck in the house again and whatever. And so the anxiety was there, right, but I could pinpoint it to what it's for that. But it started, I remember one night, this was all I'm done with, and I was sitting, and then all of a sudden this just wave of anxiety, butterflies in your stomach and down your legs, and feelings of dread as something bad's happening just came over me, and I thought, this is fucking odd because there's nothing bad happening. And then I came to realise that that's a panic attack. I never thought it at the time. I thought a panic attack's when you you lose your breath or your
Yeah.
heart speeds up.
Yeah.
But it can be, as we all know, it can be many different, can manifest in many ways. So, and then I remember I just, I feel that way more and more, and then before I know it, I felt like that way a lot of the time. I'd have this bubbling sort of sense of dread
Mm-hmm.
in me that for no reason, and I would say, oh, I'm anxious, and people would say, what about? Because you know yourself, this was in 2010. This was still, I mean, we're only in an infancy where people can talk about it, but this was
Right.
still where you keep
Right.
that shite to yourself, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. It wasn't because I was lazy or anything. I just didn't feel like I could face it because in case this feeling came on me, and then of course you think you're losing the plot. You think you're the only person that feels like that. You think that you're weak. You think that you've no reason. You feel guilty for even feeling that way, and so your world becomes smaller. And the thing is, at that point, you're like you could be like I talked about before in a nice hotel and all that. But see if you're suffering with a mental sort of or a behavioural condition or a mental condition, it doesn't matter where you are. It's going to come. It's going to come for you, and it's an internal thing. It's no external.
Mm-hmm.
And when you feel like that, you could be in the company of your mates. You could be in the company of your family. You could be lying in your bed and whatever, and that hits you, and that's your reality for as long as that's going to be there. And if you've been through it yourself, you go shopping and it happens to you in the shop. Right, I'm not going back to the shop. You start attributing it to these
Yeah.
things,
Connecting it.
and your world gets smaller and smaller. And before you know it, this is how I think people develop things like agoraphobia, where even just walking to the shops a big deal because, of course, they know that there's no danger in walking to the shop, but their brain's telling them something else.
Yeah.
And they feel that there is real danger, and and if it feels that way, it produces the same hormones, the same response.
That's right.
You can have a panic attack, and this is why people have panic attacks, because the thing was, I think all the stress I went through for a good part of it, I was what I done to myself, but nonetheless it was stressful and an anxious time. It resets your body's sort of. One thing I came across was it was to say, look, is anxiety like a thermostat? And if it, a normal one would be like a happy medium, too low, and you're not going to have any danger sensations to stop you doing stupid stuff, but too high, and you start having panic attacks and generalized anxiety disorder, phobias, and other things. So this is what I mean, I think PTSD is the most extreme version of that. So this is why guys that come back for war, they hear a car go off and they jump because the thermostat is on danger alert,
Yeah.
which makes sense when you're in a war zone.
Of course.
But anything can set somebody up to that level, and it might not even. And what does it's not important. It's just important to recognise, right, that you're no losing the plot, you're no weak, you're no all these buzzwords that people put towards it. You've just get something that's no right the now. You can bring that back down, which I have been able to do over time. It's kind of went up and down, but overall, right now, I definitely think that I've been in control of it for a wee while. Let's say, and I think if obviously, I'm involved with a lot of the same stuff you do, and a lot of the guys in our group's been doing the Wim Hof thing, and that doesn't just stop anxiety. I think that makes you feel amazing. The Wim Hof breathing training and the cold showers and all that. So but I'd say, like, see any younger guy or lassie or older, or like, if you're feeling like that, you think that that's your new normal, but it certainly isn't. It can be if that's kind of started, it can be altered and come back down. I was talking to one of my pals today, and he was like, when he went through a bad period of anxiety, and he was saying that he thought he'd lost the plot, and he thought that there was no redeeming him, and that was it. And he says just with the right help and being steered in the right direction, he's fine now. And I would say the same about myself. But I mean, anxiety can manifest in any. This is stuff I researched and found out. Any kind of way. It can be shortness of breath, fast beating heart, dizziness, butterflies. It can also be lethargy. It can be numbness. It can be sickness. I've known people saying that they keep thinking that they're going to be sick because that's what they worry about, and it manifests into a feeling of sickness, or these kind of things like what you're like people that have, for example, health anxiety. They think they're having a heart attack, and their heart will speed up because they're panicking. Right. So it manifests in all these.
You condition yourself to believe things, So it's like I kind of like to think it's environmental conditioning.
Aye.
And your body just feels like it's in that place, and
that's right.
Whatever you think's happening, it's happening. Your body reacts chemically to it.
And that's it can get there by, like I was saying, a stressful environment. Like, for example, if somebody went through a serious illness, say like cancer, they're going to be on high alert because of the stressful thing that they're going through.
Yeah.
But when that goes away and they kind of get over the fact that it's gone and they keep thinking it's going to come back, that's when it would become a real disorder. Is and that's what you say. Whatever you think about, it kind of manifests itself in that form.
Mm-hmm. It is a fascinating thing to study, man. This stuff is.
Aye, absolutely.
It really is. So, did any of your family or friends notice a change in your behaviour, Craig?
I think see when, like I was saying, when I was young, I mean, I get up to stuff that boys would do, and me and my brothers would fight and would do whatever. But certainly when I was 15, 16, 17, I was very, very short-tempered and aggressive, and I would, you say, and this carried on into my early 20s as well. Say the wrong thing, and I could kick off, and and I just assumed that they would know what was up. I don't know why I did. I just assumed that, and that they know there was something up. But you realise that people don't know that. You need to communicate with people if you want them to know what's wrong with you. And I was in quite a bad way, and I had a chat with my dad. Previously to that, this is how I told my mum about what was going on, and we looked into it, and we've come across a program called the Linden Method. I don't know if you've heard of it, by a guy called Charles Linden. I think it was like £80, but she just bought me it, and it's a series of CDs that you listen to, and it gives you a manual, and it kind of teaches you how to like unlearn understand that the things that you're feeling are just a manifestation of anxiety, to accept that, so that because every time you feel something like that, and then you keep sort of adding fuel to the fire, it kind of gets its foothold, and then it's to kind of distract yourself, as we were saying earlier, with positive things that keep you busy, and also with like taking time out for yourself, doing certain breathing exercises and relaxation meditations, and over time what that does is it reconditions you back down to a healthy level, to a point where you can kind of laugh and at these symptoms, almost as if they were like you saying, I'm not falling for that trick again. If an anxious thought presents itself, you would say, I'm a bit smarter than that, and that's the thing I like about him and his method is that his ideology is to become anxiety free and become yourself again, rather than looking at anxiety management and anxiety sort of like things to work around it. He tries to focus on getting you better back to who you were, because I mean, I certainly wasn't always like that, but again, like later I done that and it worked, but I didn't follow it right through. I can admit that myself. And it kind of came back a bit, and then I had a real kind of chat with my dad, and he was really wanting to know like why. And I was saying it's not like I'm anxious, like like say like I'm going to work. It's not like I'm anxious about work. It's like I'm anxious that I'll feel anxious. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
I do.
I'm anxious. Like I'm going to. You'll be sitting in a room and then you'll be like, no, I want to run out of here. For what reason? You can't tell yourself. You can't even tell yourself that.
Yeah.
You don't want to make a fool of yourself, or you're worried that you'll lose. I had this thing that I'm finally going to lose the plot, and I don't know. It just feels, but it feels so real at the time. And then once he understood it, and you know, I think, but with the advent of Men Matter, it's and like see yourselves being so vocal about any kind of mental or physical ailment, and people like Gary Falls, him coming out and saying that he struggled with anxiety, it was massive for a lot of people. One of the guys at the Wim Hof actually was saying to me, you know, I used to think I was the only person that felt like this until I seen his videos, and now I know I'm no. And that's half the battle, when you know that it's a thing. It's not just a thing relative to you only.
And it's
It's
probably more common even now.
aye,
Even though it's been
aye,
very
aye.
accepted to talk about it, still, I'd probably say more people suffer from stuff than people who don't.
I would think so, especially now, and with you know the younger ones now, the ones that are like, you know, going through school with mobile phones, and you know yourself. We had, you know, people in our schools and that had good clays, but fucking you need finance to fucking to
Aye.
dress a 15-year-old these days. It's insane. What they're all walking about in, and if you don't have it, then you'll know this, you'll know that. You can't. And if I hated school, but I came home, like I could go on the computer and go on MSN and all that, but I never had a a fucking a handheld MSN that was always signed in the way they do now. And
Aye.
you know, I just think it's a lot more pressure for the younger ones now. And
And it's a shame, man, because it
it
always
is.
turns out. See the poorer kids in society. They always
Aye,
seem to get bullied for being poor,
I know. Fuck,
and it's
I
just
know.
it's so cruel, man. But it's always
Aye,
been that way, hasn't it? It's always been, if you're
aye,
number less, you don't fit
absolutely.
in. You're getting pounded
That's
for it.
it.
But again,
Aye, and that
you don't know how you're affected. See, when you're that age, but although you're
you don't.
slagging somebody on purpose, you're not aware of the impact it can have on them.
No, you absolutely. And a lot of the time, people are just repeating something that was said to them. And I've got a book that I read recently, Peter, called The Four Agreements, and it's a short book. I'll maybe give you a shot of it if you want to read through it. And
Definitely.
it's just four kind of wee different ideas to live by. And the first agreement's to be impeccable with your word, because it's saying even if you say something that you think is going to hurt somebody else, it's actually going to hurt you, because they're going to be resentful, and it's
Right.
going to come back to you. And you know, people that say things, and the second ones, don't take it personally, because people that say things, a lot of the time it was said to them, and they've got that. So somebody's put this sort of emotional poison in them, and it comes out through their words. And I think that's what you were saying. You don't realise the impact of what you're having. You're just, maybe you feel the urge to say something to somebody, and you say it, and that might ruin that person's day.
Right.
It might not bother them. It might ruin their day. It might make them think that they're ugly, or they're no good. And that's how
Right.
people need counselling to get themselves back. And it can be just a throwaway comment that they took it really personally, and the person that said it doesn't even maybe not even remember saying it.
Right.
And that's just, you get older, but you do realise the power of words. But
Aye.
you know, you're 100% right. When you're in school, you don't know what you're saying, and
Nah, you don't.
you're likely to say things.
That's
You
right, mate.
fucking,
Right, Craig, we're going to talk about your fitness stuff now, mate. You chose
aye,
fitness as
aye,
your method to deal with anxiety, so just talk to us about that
aye.
now.
So I was always quite. I was saying I had a good family life. So my mum and dad, and that, they were always encouraging us to get into fitness and take us to different clubs and play football and take us out hill walking and all that. Something that I still really do enjoy. But I remember after I get basically when I went up and I go that community service for the second time. The judge at the High Court in Edinburgh, the High Court of Appeal, said to me, if you fuck this up and you do anything else, you're going to go away for a while, because if you breach community service, what happens is you go back for your initial thing that you done, plus the breaching community service is a separate criminal offence, and then plus whatever it was I'd done to like other incident. So I knew that gang fighting thing was out of the window, and I couldn't have that as an outlet. And been down to some boxing gyms and that, and I'd been to the gym lifting weights and running. But my brother Kev, he'd been going to a club, and a boxing club, and I remember like one night I was feeling that really, really anxious way, and then like I was saying, I didn't know why, I didn't know how to stop it, I didn't know what caused it, and I just knew in my head that exercise releases endorphins, which can reduce anxiety and lift your mood. And I says, well, I'll pop down with you to the boxing tonight, and I went, and I was so unfit at the time that it was such a hard session, but I got through it. After it, I felt really, really calm. I felt a lot better, and I realised that I can do this. I can get the buzz out of doing this. It's an adrenaline rush, and it's totally legal. It's controlled. It's with a group of guys that are into it. Wanting the same thing for themselves. A lot of the boys that picked that up, it steered them off a bad course, and kind of. I mean, I suppose it's a bit of a cliche, but it's a cliche for a reason, because it's a cliche. It's just something that's said multiple times, but I mean that means it's true, innit? So once I get into that, and I was like, this is fucking class, because it was on it as many nights as you wanted to go, and I'd be there on Friday nights, and 6 months down the line, I've completely changed my shape, and I'm a lot fitter, and take me a pride in myself. I've got something to put all that outlet into, and I get the endorphin rush off it, and having my first fight. I had my first fight, and it was in the Albion Club at Yoker, and I won that, and it was the best feeling. And it's an adrenaline rush, and it's just. But the thing is, it's as safe as a combat sport can be, but there's always going to be risks involved. But it's controlled, it's legal, and it's constructive, and it's helpful, and that just totally changed it. I mean, you yourself, you're really. I think what you're really good at bringing to the table is mixing the positive benefits of exercise with and you show that really helps boost people's moods. Absolutely. So I mean, two of us can both vouch for the fact that the exercise is amazing for mental health and anxiety, in particular for me, it worked wonders.
Right. And so see when you've had a few fights, haven't you?
Aye, I've had.
See when you were doing your training for these fights and all that stuff, did you still have bouts of anxiety, or was it just kind of non-existent then?
It was so the most recent ones was so when I done the boxing I done that for I done it more seriously for about a year or two, and then I switched to Thai boxing. That's when I switched 4 years ago, and that last year's when I kind of got involved with yous, and that was when I was training for two fights in a row, but I mean you get wee bouts here, but it's every day you wake up, you've got a purpose. You're getting up for a reason. I mean, you've got work and all that as well, but you're fitting it. You'll be in the gym in the morning, and then you go to work, college, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And you'll come back, have something to eat, and then you go into the gym again. And it just, for me, it was just certainly, it wasn't prominent. I'd have wee bouts here and there. One big major thing is when you're really focused on it, you're no drinking. You're taking no drinking. So no alcohol into your system. That we all know that is a major contributor to people's anxiety. So I mean, you're just after every night you come out. For me, I just come out buzzing. Especially the ones that that where it's our gym show. I know Big Floan that plays for the Men Matters football team. He was actually he was my coach, and he ran the show. So him and his wife sort of she's an events organizer, so she organises that side of things, and he trains the fighters. And because that's our home show, there's like 6s on it, so there's like 6 guys that are getting ready, and then the rest of the gym are kind of like pulling in to get the atmosphere going. So it's like an amazing atmosphere, and everybody's working towards the same goal, pulling each other up, supporting each other. And after every session, I mean, you have your bad sessions or whatever, but like I was saying before, like when you feel down or you feel anxious, you know why. It's like you've got something coming up. I was never like, and I'm still, I wouldn't say I'm like sitting there with that real feeling of dread and wondering where it's come from and why it's coming. And you know, you have things like, you know, you're going to be in a fight, so you know you've got to be on the ball, and sometimes you do get nervous thinking, right, I need to go out and do this and whatever else. But I honestly see when you're training, you're eating well, you're living well, you're around positive people, and you're
just all
audience
contributes to better wellness, doesn't it?
You're just living that life of pure.
And again, your environment's changed.
That's what it is. The environment. That's the
you
right
become a
word.
product of your environment, don't you?
You do. And I seen a saying, it was like you're the average of the 5 people closest to you. I don't know if that's true word for word, but it's certainly true as a general statement. You are what you're run about, and if that's good things, then you know you can only you know, if you're more likely, shall we say, to think of good things and want good things for yourself. So honestly, you'll probably agree. Anybody that's wanting to get outlets, fine. It might not break. Combat sports is a heavy game, but you can do it in just hitting pads, hitting bags, doing boxercise classes or body combat.
That's right.
But take up running, cycling. Find something that, I think the best way to work out is to find something that you enjoy.
That's right.
Do
Definitely.
that.
One of my biggest bits of advice to people is who are struggling with anxiety or just kind of get thoughts out of their head is to come and do a class, because even you're trying to stay alive for 45 minutes, you're not thinking about your problems.
That's so true. That's all you're in the. You're in the, what they call it, the flow state, where all you can think about is what you're doing. You're just so present in what you're doing. Yep. That's all there is. That's for right. And see that 45 minutes, if it's just a break from that feeling and the thoughts, then it's a welcome break, isn't it?
Exactly, mate. That is a welcome break, man. And again, like you're saying, I'm a massive advocate for fitness, man. It's something that really helped me when I was struggling. I couldn't recommend it enough. I really couldn't. So, Craig, you said you're on a better path today, mate, right? You're in a better place. What's the one big difference between where you were when you were 14, 15, or even struggling with your anxiety, to where you're at today? What's the one big difference for you?
I think probably, I don't know, self-awareness maybe. That's a big one, like knowing myself, knowing what I can do, and knowing things that like upset me, and things that get me wound up, and knowing how to manage that, and just accepting myself, and knowing that what things that are what's for me and what's for no, what things are me, and what I like, what I don't. You just get to know yourself as you get older. I suppose education as well on anxiety as a disorder, and knowing that, and having experience with it, and then of course a big major factor is being in touch with guys like you that keep each other grounded, keep each other, would you say, a base to check in with, talk to each other, and these things have an effect that add up, and they all play a part. And I think I suppose a few things, but I think the main one would be self-awareness and self-development. I realised that I used to struggle with like a lot of things that the average person would probably find easy, like going to school, or like taking orders or whatever. And then so I thought, right, I'm not going to get by too well if I keep acting the way I am.
Mhm.
So I watch a lot. That's why I was one of these where I was so eager to come on, because I love podcasts because they're very informative,
Yeah.
and I love audiobooks. I recently actually finished one that you really advocate, which was the Lost Connections book. I think that's an absolutely amazing book for
Aye.
anybody.
Brilliant.
So these I listen to as many podcasts and audiobooks and read books, and obviously, of course, apply what you get taught, because if no, you're just reading, and you learn yourself, and you learn these things, and you learn what to stay away from, what to
Yeah.
press towards.
You find you take a wee tools, don't you, for these books? They're kind
You
of
do,
self-help
aye,
books. You
that's
take a
tools.
wee tips for them, mate. And I think you,
You
like you
do,
say, if you apply them to your life, you can notice when you're going to get triggered with
aye,
something that pisses you off or gives you anxiety. You can identify it quicker and deal with it quicker as well.
aye. That exactly, and I think that I used to think like, so you get like pressure for like teenagers, like say for things like going to a concert or like say some sort of rave or something, and you get ones that maybe don't really like it, but they don't want to say,
Mhm.
and they'll feel anxious. And as you get more accepting yourself, you can just say, "Do you know what, that's not for me,"
Aye, that's right.
and you's going ahead. I'm not going to spoil your good time or whatever, but you can comfortably say that's not for me, and you can go on, and that self acceptance is a massive weight off your shoulders,
I
because
totally
it
agree with that,
means
mate. I think that's a massive
you
thing.
don't go to things you don't want to do, and
Aye,
so
and
that to me has been a massive.
just be who you are, be yourself, man. Because there's a lot of people
Aye,
you see it.
aye,
So social media is a big contributor for me with regards to people not being happy with who they are, and it's a big indicator for me is through the people put up photos with filters over them. Now that tells me they're
aye,
not happy.
that's
That
right.
tells
Aye.
me they're not happy with how they look normally.
I would agree, aye, and it's a shame for them, because they, if you were to like step through the door of that we're talking about, of self acceptance, you know, it's like almost saying to yourself, right, I'm just going to be who I am, and if the right people will stick around, but I'm happy with who I am. So, and then anybody that's in your life is like a total bonus. And if
Hmm.
anybody, a lot of these people you'll probably find will be surprised that people don't judge them as harshly as they're judging themselves.
Exactly, that's right.
And you know, if they just be themselves, that people actually might even take to them more than
Yeah, they
the
would.
fake person that they're putting up. So, because I've noticed that about myself, like, you know, you put up this sort of, like we were going on about earlier with the gangs or whatever. So you walk about, you get a wee swagger on you or whatever, and you can't really be bothered doing that, but you do it because you feel you need to. And once you just go out, you know what, I'm not going to bother with that or whatever. You know, I think people do really have a sense for authenticity, and if you're being authentic, it's quite. I think it's people pick up on it. They can see it.
Mate,
You're not trying to
so
impress.
I've been doing youth work for 17 years now, right? And
Aye,
I've always just been who I'm. I've not tried to pretend to be somebody else, whatever. I always just speak the way I speak, and I'm who I'm. And so I've worked with people who are like me, but say I've met a group of young team in the street, we'll go talk to them, and they put a voice on and try and be different.
aye,
And
aye.
the young team click so quick
Right
that they're not
away,
being
aye,
authentic. So they'll take to me quicker because I'm just Peter for the Hill. That's who I'm. They know me as Peter
aye,
for the. They all call me Pistol. So
aye, aye.
they like you're saying, they just take to you because you're honest. They're
You can
building
see
a
that in
true
you. It's a
relationship with you
sense. Aye.
rather than a falsehood. It makes some difference. No, that's brilliant, mate. So, next question is: so men matter. How did you get involved? Where are you? Where's your involvement in the new? And what kind of sessions have you taken part in?
Aye, so I remember he's obviously, to get a backstory. My brother Kev worked with Gregor at Buddies support group. There's Kev there, walking by the window. Kid no, he doesn't know me. But that they've been best pals for well over 10 years. And Kev was Gregor's best man at his wedding. So I've been good pals with Gregor through that. And then I seen that you were doing the Dad's Matter, weren't you?
That's right.
And
Aye.
then you opened it up to help me guys through Men Matter. And I was right balls deep into the whole sort of masculinity crisis. I was reading a lot of Jordan Peterson, and I could empathise that, because I think men need outlets and men need support, and I don't think that there was enough, or still is enough. So I seen they were doing the talking group on the Sunday, and it no necessarily that I needed anything to vent for myself, but I thought, right, I'll go down, because I want to show Gregor and the other guys that this is something I'll be keen for. And so I went down, and that's when I met yourself and Fraser and a bunch of the other guys, and then that was when about the second time I came down the week after or whatever. That was when I had that. That was when I had the fights, and I got the T-shirt, and then I got everybody to sign it, and that's kind of how I got to know guys, and I got to wear that, and that was just over a year ago, just there, and I shared the picture. It's a good thing. Even the boy I fought, he'd seen it, because you get to know who you're fighting, because he was from Newcastle, and he said to me after that, I think that's really good what you're doing with that Men Matter. And I had the T-shirt and I was holding it up, and he after the fight, and he held, came here and held the corner up, the two of us together, and that shows the strength and what's needed. And now I've been doing the Wim Hof sessions, which I think are fucking immense, and the wee stretching that takes attention out, the breathing just leaves you feeling euphoric, and the cold showers make you feel class. And I mean, yourself, you've been doing it as well. It's and plus doing it with the group of guys that you're doing it with, that we're been stuck in the house for 12 weeks before we started it, and now we're out and we're doing something like that. And so I've been about Men Matter. The football team, I know a few guys for the team beforehand, but I've got to know them more. But they play up where their home ground is my work, Garscube, up at the Science Parks. So I see them up there as well. But Fraser phoned me the other day, and he was asking if I was wanting to do a bit of volunteering with the new breakfast club that's coming. So I feel good that I'm actually, because I've been using the service, but I'm actually going to be one of the guys that's
You're doing some volunteering, aye?
Aye. So I'm going to help him starting for Tuesday, because I'll miss the Monday, because I'm busy on the Monday. But
brilliant,
so
Craig, man.
I'll give him because he was saying, because he's got other guys doing things, so he's looking for more people that are about. And that means to me that if I can be the guy that somebody, their first point of contact, and then they go, oh, hold on, this is actually a good laugh, this is uplifting, this isn't, because some of my pals think it's like, if you go there, you're on your last legs. It's not at all. It's not at all. It's there if you need it. Don't get me wrong. See, if you really are in a crisis, right, it's there. But it's you'll probably agree. It's genuine. It's like it's mental health / community hub and self-development.
The best way I describe it best is a youth club for adults, man.
It is. That's what it is.
It's a positive social network hub. It is, because I've said a million times in these podcasts, the only places guys get to socialise once they leave youth clubs or whatever and gangs is pubs and bookies.
Pubs and bookies.
Just negative places. And we cannot, within reason, we can enjoy these activities, but some people are at the whole of it, and then it takes them in a dark place. So we've got this hub now where you don't need to be struggling with anything in life. You can just try to play pool with some other guys.
Exactly. Because where else are you going to get to do that? Exactly. And get to go to a well-equipped gym free of charge. It's got showers. It's got. Gregor was saying that they're trying to get a sauna installed. I mean, you've got everything in it. It's, what the best thing about Men Matter is, see everything that you've got in that building. Somebody's helped you out and acquired that. That's and you say, we need this. Somebody in the communities came back and says, I've got it. And that's what it's built on, and that's what it is. A community, and that's what we need to do.
It's a great organisation, man. I love being part of it, and again, I'm sure you'll be the same. So I want to just quickly touch on your vlogging stuff, because you've done a few vlogs of the Wim Hof stuff, Craig.
Yep, aye. So, I mean, my plan initially was, hold on, I better let my... 2 seconds. Okay.
Let's go.
Right, aye. So, with the vlogging, my plan was initially, I wanted to do a big one-part thing, like a 45-minute documentary, which would include the first part, which was when I went up to see Gregor and he took us a virtual tour. Then obviously the second one, which was the opening night, and then I was wanting to go to the hill walking group, to the what was it, the football team, and then I was going to go away. They were going to take me through what they do if they get a phone call and even if it's the middle of the night, if it's a crisis. So even if it wasn't an actual event, they would just like take me through what they would do, what you would go through when that happens, and put it all in one. But I'd got the couple of bits for the first few, and then of course lockdown strikes.
Yeah.
So I've not been doing them. I could probably be more and find things to do, but that's just me. I can be a bit of a lazy bastard at times as well.
I can
But
empathise with that, mate.
I got aye, we all can procrastinate, can't we? But I got up there and you seen the one I done with the guys doing the Wim Hof, and I'm always a wee bit standoffish, thinking like, should I ask them, do they want to be on camera? But see if you just ask somebody talk about a wee bit about themselves. I mean, they're probably dying to speak about themselves because nobody asks these things till you come to a group like Men Matter, you know. And I put it together. I enjoy putting it together, and they've come off quite well editorial wise. So I want to do a running series with Men Matter, but also just you've probably seen some of my daft Facebook lives that I've done at the start of lockdown.
Yeah.
So I want to do ones like that. I'm having a barbecue on Monday. If you're not doing it, you can pop down. That's an invite to Peter. No, all the audience watching. No, the millions of people watching. But just I bought the day fucking. It's like one of the world's hottest sauces. So like, I'm going to try that and film that and like just daft things like that, just for a laugh. Big Liam for the football team messaged me about the Wim Hof one, and he was saying, "Oh, it'd be class to do one with the team." And I says, "Mate, honestly, that was my plan, and it still is." So go up, see them, follow them about. Just the usual. How you get involved with it, kind of what we're doing now, just in a shorter format. So that, and hopefully it builds, and it can be. Obviously, I'll have my own side of it, but I want it obviously to be as strongly associated with Men Matter, because every time you're in that building, there's good things to film. There's banter. There's somebody's doing a wee bit of this, using one of the rooms for X, Y, and Z, and going out and doing positive things, litter picking, and dropping our food parcels to people that need it, and going and helping people delivering furniture to somebody that needs this, that somebody for the community's donated. So it's a bit of community TV kind of thing. And a good mate of mine as well, big guy Stuart Allen, he came down. He does a podcast called In the Corner. Stuart's actually an MC that does ring announcements, and he done them for my fights. And he came down and he's wanting to do something similar, and he was saying he wants some of the Men Matter guys to go up and be on his podcast as well. So just to kind of be involved in that, and then like I'm involved in this one and that one, and you're all kind of collaborating. It builds everybody's audience, and each one's kind of unique in their own right anyway.
That's right.
So
see, for me, see the best thing that's happening there, but is the connections with new people. That's the best thing that's happening there. For me, it's just I love meeting new people and getting to know them, because again, I'm an impression. Everybody's brand new. I just a lot of people are hiding it.
I hear that. That's a good way to put it. It is, because I was saying the other day. I can't remember if it was my mom or somebody, but I was saying, a group of guys looks like a group of guys, but they all look the same. It could be like somebody wearing trackies and looking a bit, standoffish, but then you speak to him and you're like, hold on, man, he's fucking hilarious, or he's really down to earth, or he's really a caring individual. And like that was a good thing you said there. Everybody's brand new, but they're kidding on their no, because they don't know how to take you don't know how to take them. See the thing about the Men Matter with the Wim Hof. I mean, it's guys that I've met in passing for a couple of weeks, and I've only met them for a couple of hours, and then next thing we're all getting our taps off and encouraging each other to chuck ice at our heads. I mean, how do you bond quicker than that? It's class. It's and it's everybody there. They're fed up living the way they are. They're fed up things being the way they are, feeling the way they
Yeah.
are, and feeling like they can't speak to somebody. And why no fucking just make a step and get involved and help out and help each other out.
Gregor he says something really good. Gregor's great with words, so he is, man. He's really good. He should be doing
Ah,
his
yes, he
podcast, not
is
me.
very good. Aye.
But he says something along the lines of, you can't expect a different result if you keep doing the same thing.
That's right. Aye,
And
aye.
he's spot on. He's
That's
spot on with
so
that. It's a
true.
cracking wee saying, man. It might not be his saying, but he uses it
Aye,
and it's a belter. Uh,
aye.
so
And
I
it's to
wanted to
remind
touch on.
yourself.
Aye, that's right. I want to touch on your next chapter then for you. You're doing the vlogging. You're involved with Men
Aye,
Matter University. What's your hopes for that, mate?
aye. So basically I've kind of steadied the ship as I was saying, and I've been working steady, different jobs. But obviously, as I was saying, I hated school, but that didn't mean I wasn't intelligent or I wasn't
Ah,
smart. I just wasn't fitting in. I wasn't enjoying it. And like I was saying, I was repeating stuff that I'd already done, and then I just lost interest. And so I was working. Obviously, I got into fitness as well. PT'd for a while. I'll be honest. I think I tip my hat off to people that can run a PT business because it's a 24-hour job, and you're setting things up and you're doing things behind the scenes to keep it
mhm,
all running. I always knew I had like intellectual potential, and my mom went back and done an accountancy degree when she had the three of us. She had three boys, and she went back and done it. So I mean, she was always encouraging it. It's like it's never too late.
mhm,
So a couple of years ago, I decided to take up. I wanted to. I looked into the professions, and I was looking at law, but I've not really got any qualifications. I left school. I was like I sat about half of my exams and patched the others, and I left the school because I was like, my last exam, that's me. I'm not going back in, and that was that. Um, so I had to do I had to do an access to get into college, and then I done that, and I've just finished the HND in legal services, and I
yeah,
turned up 3 A's, and that was I was wanting to get the 3 A's because that was to get I had my university choices, so I had Strathclyde offered me a place for study law starting at year one, with 3 A's, which I got, but Cali offered, they run a risk management degree, and they're the only ones in the UK that do it.
right.
So most big companies have a risk management
Mhm,
department where they try and basically identify potential risks that can occur in the company and then minimise them
yeah,
and avoid them. And I can get into that at year three, which I've chosen today. And there's no postgrad certificates in it, so hopefully 1 year I'll have the degree. They say that because it is a niche course, that the employers come directly to the uni to
brilliant, man.
headhunt for students. So the job opportunities are a bit more wide than say
Mhm,
in getting into law, which is very,
yeah,
very competitive. And there's postgrads and you need traineeships and whatever else. Plus with this management, there's a potential for travelling about a wee bit and getting put up in a hotel or whatever. So, and the salaries seem pretty good. Plus, if I ever wanted to go back to law, there's a postgrad option to do like a fast track because I've got a degree. I could fast track an LLB law and do it in 2 years. And if you're lucky, a lot, yourself, a lot of big companies want you to your continual personal development, so they
aye,
want you
yeah.
to keep pushing yourself.
Development.
So they might be happy for me to do that on the side or whatever, but it feels I'm always really, really buzzing because she always wanted that for me to do that. And for me to think that I remember when the thought that when I ended up getting the jail the first night. I remember thinking like when I was a wee boy and getting took to like Blair Drummond Safari Park and just being the standard good family, and now I'm fucking here. Like, why
Aye,
have I done this?
yeah,
What have I fucking done this for? Like, and I wasn't looking for other people to blame. I knew whose fucking fault it was, and do you know what? They could have been more lenient with me, sorry, but they also could have been harsher the first
yeah.
time I went up. So to turn that round, and then now obviously I'm not the finished article by any means, but I'm a good bit on
Good
from
work.
where I was, and I feel really, like I said, knowing that I wasn't getting, and then I start, reading and develop my brain, and that's what's providing me with tools to articulate now the way I can speak and the way I can hopefully help other people and develop myself. And
Exactly, mate.
honestly, a lot of people probably wouldn't be buzzing to get into uni, but here I am, because I understand the power of it. And I done it because you think to go for there to here, it's a great feeling.
Go.
So with the dogs, my dog Jack died in November, and it was a real hard thing to deal with, because you know yourself, a dog's like a family member. They're there when you wake up, and they're looking up to you, and your whole day is spent around making sure they're all right.
Right.
So I kind of like, I forgot how good it is, see, to just take your dog out and just watch them, and just watch them being happy with life. And they run in, you come in the house, and somebody's that happy to see that they're running up, wagging the tail, and
Yeah.
they'll come and lie on you. They'll not ask any questions. They're just happy that you're there. That is fucking phenomenal to me. I'm a known dog lover, and especially dogs like Jack, the previous one I was saying, he was for the SSPCA. He was found wandering as a stray. My brother Kev's got two, a brother and sister for the same litter, they were abuse cases, and he's worked so well with them, and they've came on. But see, if they don't know a person, they just they get really anxious, and they bark, and they shake and all that, and it's terrible. But look, he came for the Dogs Trust. I don't think he was an abuse case by any means, because he's so friendly, and you see what dogs are like when they've been abused. His demeanour's very, very calm. But he was found wandering about, and he get took to the pound, and the pound will give you 7 days to claim a dog. If you don't, they'll put the dog down. So that's when the Dogs Trust and these other charities come around, and they step in.
Yeah.
And they take the dog, and then they get people foster dogs, knowing that they're not going to keep them,
Huh.
and build a bond up with the dog, and then they'll go after wherever they're going to stay. So I mean, that's great. I mean, I don't know if I could do that. It's really good that they do, because he was in a foster, and then he came here. But see, just having him, he's been here 2 weeks today, and it feels like he's been here for months.
Right.
He fits in. See, just watching him run about the garden, just being happy to be there, that really boosts me. And see, when they say a dog, when you look at your dog and they look at you, you produce the chemical oxytocin, which they call the cuddle hormone. It makes you feel a bond. So I can certainly say that I feel a bond to him already, even though he can be.
At the start of this podcast, I seen your dog. I think a few of you seen your dog. He's an absolute cracker, mate. You wouldn't think, maybe this misconception that dogs trust and whatever, or maybe missing legs or one eye and half an ear kind of thing.
I know. Aye, that's what he's. People about. I mean, about 10 people have stopped us in the street to ask about him, and that's why we keep the Dogs Trust collar on him, because it's a talking point. People say, "Oh, he's for the Dogs Trust. Maybe we'll have a wee look there and see what we can get." Because I mean, people. Some dogs you see are absolutely stunning, right? To me, a dog's a dog, right? But I do get that some pure breeds are stunning, but there's enough dogs going about. So I mean, I see, once you bond with a dog, it doesn't matter. It's your dog.
Yeah, it's unconditional love they give you, isn't it?
Aye, that's it. Aye.
They don't ask for anything after you, apart from a walk and some food. That's it.
Aye, I know. Exactly.
And
I carry on doing again.
Aye, exactly, mate. So I'm going to come to the last question then, Craig, man. You've been brilliant so far, by the way.
No, I've enjoyed it, man.
So, Craig the new to 14-year-old Craig Maguire, what advice you giving that boy?
Leicester at 5,000 to 1. No, I'm joking. Calm down. That's what I'd say for a start. I'd say you're all right. I mean, you feel like you're not going to get anywhere, but just calm down. Things take time, and I mean, I'm 28 on Tuesday. That's still relatively young in comparison with, you think that's old. When you're 17, you think 28 is old. Ended at 17, wait till you get to 28, you realise it's no.
Craig, I remember me
You
being
realise
28.
that,
I think that was old,
aye,
and now I'm 38. You know what I
aye.
mean?
I bet you, I bet 30, you realise, hold on, because see when you're 17, 18, you think a 38-year-old's supposed to have it all figured out and
Aye,
whatever, but
you did.
you learn as you go, don't you?
Hey, mate.
And
Spot on.
so I'd say that I think just be easy on yourself. I expect to be able to do everything. If I can't do something, I get raging. I beat myself up. I think a big thing, I think my big problem was that I used to watch, like, part of my, when I was watching podcasts and all this, I used to watch, like, motivational speeches for people like Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he'd be like, I used to wake up and every hour of the day I would do something. And it's like, I would try that, do you know what I mean? And
Aye.
I'd be like, and then by like fucking 5 o'clock, I couldn't keep my eyes open. And I think, oh, you're just not trying hard enough. And I'm like, well, Cam, he is the exception to the rule. He's no the
Aye.
normal. He's
No, mate.
world known. I mean, the
Yeah.
fact that I done his voice there and everybody knows who I'd be doing, because he is an exceptional person. It doesn't mean if you can't do that, you'll know. It just means you need to do it a different way. Because
Yeah.
when I was getting ready for that last fight, I was training in the morning. I was sitting assessments and exams or whatever, and then I'd be training at night. Then I'd be working when I was doing that, and I would be absolutely stressed out and shattered. And while it got me a good achievement, a few good achievements, it's not something I can sustain.
No.
So if I'd have learned that a wee bit quicker, I would have saved myself a lot of stress. And it's probably something I can start applying myself now, because you ever get the days you wake up and you want to do X, Y, and Z, but you do X and Y and you can't be arsed doing Z, and then you
Aye.
spend the rest of the day, I fucking should have done this, but do you know what? Who cares? You know what I mean? You'll
Exactly.
do it, you will at some point,
It'll
and
get done.
you've got kids and that running about, so you've got more things on your plate, and one day I will have as well. So if I can learn that now, then, because the guy Eckhart Tolle that wrote The Power of Now, he says that, a lot of times you get stressed because you think you've got to do this by this time, and then you beat yourself up because you never. But who set the time? You set the time.
Yeah.
There wasn't a time on it till you said that needs to be done by 5 o'clock.
Aye.
It says who you said it, and then you start beating yourself up. So these kind of things, but I think as well, fucking 60 and all, stop fucking gang fighting. Start boxing a bit earlier and we'll become world champion.
Aye.
Start taking that a bit serious. That's what I'd say. Start training myself, hold the pads.
Well, that's good, mate.
No,
Listen, Craig, so just before we finish up, mate, we'll come back to
aye.
Men Matter Scotland quickly. Is there anything you want to say to any guy out there right now about Men Matter Scotland?
I want to say that it's, look at the way me and Peter are just talking, we're having a laugh or casual. That's the essence of it. If you need help, speak to somebody. It's confidential. Like, we've spoke about certain things, but we've no kind of divulged anybody's names or stories or any that all stays. I mean, if you were to go there and speak to somebody, like, I wouldn't know what was going on. No, it's not like we all know everybody's business. But there's also the side to it that you get in touch with new people, new pals that want to try things, guys that are fed up doing things that aren't working and want to do new things. And it can be, like Peter said, a youth club for men where you want a game of pool, but you don't want in a place where you'd be tempted to buy a pint with it. Come up to me, Matt. I mean, the fact that it's above Oliver's pub is a wonder, isn't it? Because there's guys that have walked ready to get into the pub and just decided to come up the stair instead.
Right.
And I think that's amazing. And it can just be a tea or a coffee and a sandwich and a chat or a gym session. It's everything in it, Peter. It's everything.
Aye.
Football, hill walking, outdoor activities, indoor activities, nights, function nights, and fundraisers, and anything you can imagine in it. And I think with its
I think it's got something for everybody, isn't it, Craig?
Aye, it is. Absolutely everybody. It's changing people's views on mental health, and people's are getting to know people in their community that they wouldn't have known otherwise. So get involved, even if it's coming along the new breakfast thing, or send the page a like and drop the page a message and ask what it's about, and see for yourself. Before lockdown, they were doing even sauna sessions and swimming, doing family nights. That was a big one, wasn't it, for people that have got kids and
Yep.
they couldn't
So
otherwise
careful. I
come.
know I keep saying we're going to finish up, right? But
Aye.
can you just give people a wee insight of what the breakfast thing's about?
Aye, so the Bros Breakfast, it's essentially a breakfast club type idea. It's a chance to get out. If you're, I mean, there's all the facilities there if you want to bring your own stuff and heat it up or whatever, but there'll be stuff provided. There's never a shortage of stuff in there to eat, and there's plenty of tea and coffee. And it's basically a kind of a social gathering to get yourself back out the house. You maybe not had the chance to meet up with people for however long on this lockdown, or maybe you have and you just want, I don't get down there, and it's just get to know people. It's probably one of the best ways to see what Men Matter
Aye.
can offer you. Because Peter, you'll agree, once people actually see what's in that building, it's hard to believe that you've got all that, and it's all free of charge, and it's all.
We've had the Lord Provost of Glasgow come in to do some volunteering, and he couldn't believe the facilities we had. Couldn't believe
that's right. Aye. I heard he was in. I was going to ask him if I could hang my punch bag off his chain, because the one I've got just keeps falling because it's not strong enough. But it's like it's banter. It's like recapturing that thing that I think's missing. It's a hub for guys having a laugh and supporting each other, and it's trying things that would otherwise be considered like a bit out there and a bit strange. But when you're doing it with people, it's no.
Aye. Definitely, mate. Well, Craig, listen, I'm going to thank you for taking part, mate. That was absolutely brilliant, man. It was really, it was good for me to get to know a bit of your story as well. Obviously, I've met you quite a few times, obviously, but I've not known about your story. And I love to get to know people, man. So, cheers for sharing that, ways, mate.
No, mate, my pleasure, mate. Honestly, I really enjoyed that, mate. It was class, and I think the time just flew away like that, didn't it?
I know, that's nearly 2 hours.
Aye. Yeah, I'm challenging Scott Brown for the longest podcast. I think
he's let it go again.
Listen, Craig, mate, you get his own podcast.
There might be scope for you to maybe do some of these podcasts on your behalf. Know what I mean?
Aye, well, if it's there, I'm all keen for it, because much as I can get involved in, I'm for it. Aye.
Right,
cheers, Peter, man. I'm going to
you have a good day then, mate. Right.
You too, my man. And I'll speak to you soon, mate. Right.
Take care, mate.
Right, cheers, brother.
Right, my man. Bye.